A very good evening to everyone. This is part of my daily briefing that I'm having for the press and also for the general public of our state. Friends, I would just like to inform all of you that in the situation that we are facing, the department and the state government has been leaving no stone unturned to ensure that we are able to face these challenges that are there in front of us. Friends, having said that, I must say that there is never a situation where it's easy for us to ensure that everything goes the way we want to go. There are challenges we face. Today, I can tell you, our officers, whether it's from the health department, our administration, the entire government machinery is working overtime. There are some officers who have not slept for the past 24 hours, 30 hours. And that's the kind of dedication that they are working with. Having said that, there are challenges. There are shortcomings. But I can assure you, what is important is to be able to respond to those challenges. What is important is to be able to rectify immediately and improve on the different shortcomings and challenges that we face. Today, our officials, whether it's from the administration or from the government, from the departments, as I mentioned, have been working overtime. 552 tests have been conducted. We are waiting results of 178 of them. So therefore, out of the rest of the cases which have come out, we have in fact 7 cases which are positive, 6 plus 1. The rest of the cases are negative and 178 cases are awaited the results. Today we had a meeting with the health officials and with also the Home Department in the Secretariat, where the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, the Health Minister and the Home Minister attended the meeting along with the Chief Secretary and other officials. And we reviewed the entire situation and in fact the events of the last 24 hours that have taken place. We have also worked on ensuring that more testing is going to be done. We are working on trying to get rapid test kits which are coming from different parts of the world. Other states also are working towards getting that. So we hope that the rapid testing kits should be here very soon. NIGRIMS, the overall testing facility, has been increased to almost 100 tests per day. And we are thankful to Government of Assam and the institutes in Assam which have given us an additional of 50 more tests in a day. So we have a capacity total of 100 plus 50 tests that we can do. And as you're aware, friends, that given the current scenario, whether it's in the state of Meghalaya or whether in the whole country, the way forward is really to test more and more. And therefore, realizing that, we are ensuring that we are able to get these rapid test kits. We are also exploring the possibility of having pool tests. But in the initial stages, it will be very important for us to do the primary testing. The primary contacts have to be tested first. And this is the phase that we're going through where we want to complete those, which will be done very, very soon. So friends, with these few words, I know that the press has some questions that they want to ask. I will be happy to respond to those questions that have been asked by the press.
So the first question, the son-in-law of late Dr. Silo have alleged that there have been no efforts on the part of the government to segregate the family members of 6 persons who have tested positive, nor they have been taken to quarantine. They are still all together at the same house. What is the reason for not segregating them or take them to quarantine?
Friends, I think this may not be the right time to ask a question like this, because it's a very, very difficult time for the family, and they're going through a very difficult situation. And of course, there are many factors one has to remember, which I don't feel appropriate that I should express right now in the press at this point in time. But we need to respect the space of the family. Necessary guidelines, necessary precautions, safety measures which should be taken, appropriate sanitization and appropriate information, has been given to the concerned family. In fact, even though the situation was very, very emotional for them. We had to start the contact tracing process, and a lot of the work has been done, and I must thank all of them for being very supportive in this matter. So friends, my sincere appeal to everyone would be to respect the space and the kind of challenges that the individual family is facing. And yes, we need to be careful, which we are being careful, but at the same time, as I said, it is important to give that space to them.
Second question, sir. What is the government's reaction to the public criticism that the health department is not fully prepared to deal with COVID-19?
No, I think I have mentioned in my brief statement which I gave that the department is very much prepared. Different kind of SOPs and different kind of arrangements, different kind of mock drills, different kind of infrastructure, training, all has been done. But then situations are very fluid, situations are very complex and challenging. And therefore, no matter how many things you do, sometimes it is difficult to immediately respond to every single challenge. But what is important for us as a department, as a government, is to be able to respond to those shortcomings or those challenges we face and ensure that we overcome them and rectify them so that we are able to move ahead in a smoother manner. And that is the best part about the team that is working right now. Wherever we are seeing that there are challenges that are coming up, our team has not shied away. From the Chief Secretary level to the departmental heads, to our deputy commissioners, to our police force, to the people on the ground, I must tell you, and I must congratulate you and thank you for the commitment you have. You're doing an excellent job. The government and the state and the people are with you. We know that there are difficult times, but if all of us work together, I'm sure that we'll be able to get through this phase.
Next question, sir. Will the government take action against those people who blocked yesterday's funeral at Jhalupara?
Friends, yesterday's situation actually was very, very unfortunate. When this happened and when the government had decided that we'll be taking the body for cremation to that particular location, initially the team had gone to check the location. And when that happened towards the evening, where we did not expect that there would be a large crowd, public came out and there was a lot of concern from the residents of that locality regarding burning or cremating the body out there. We, from the government side, from the administration side, we tried to explain. I spoke to both the MLAs concerned and some of the MLAs from Shillong City to resolve this issue, as this is very important and very urgent, and there is nothing to fear because this is being done in a very, very safe manner. All the safety protocols are being followed. There would be no risk to society, and therefore all these aspects were cleared and clarified. And in spite of that, there were some concerns shown by the locality. But in the meantime, the department, the administration and different political leaders started working on if there were any other options that we had. I'm thankful to the Presbyterian Church and the leaders out there, the pastors and the reverends out there, who have really shown, their true character and have really, shown their heart to everybody by ensuring and by allowing the burial of the departed soul in their graveyard. And I think when that option came in front of us, we felt that that would be the most simple way to move forward, and it would be a very, very fitting burial for him. Of course, though there were certain personal desires that he had, but in this given circumstance and given situation, this was the best that from the government side we could do. And I'm once again thankful to the Presbyterian Church and to all the leaders who have really facilitated the particular process.
So last question. MHA has issued direction to exempt the lockdown for farmers and other farming related businesses. In view of the positive COVID case in the state, what is the government's stand on the relaxation? What are the steps taken so far to facilitate the farmers because it's the beginning of the season?
Yes, before this particular COVID case came out, we had already decided that we will allow the farming activities to take place. But of course, after the COVID positive court case, we had to review certain decisions. And a lot of the decisions that were made for the urban-centric locations, mainly Shillong, all those decisions were repealed. But the issue of the farmers and allowing the farmers, as mentioned by MHA, the MHA has allowed it. So in a very, very careful and following basic protocols, the different farmers, by ensuring that there will be no individuals or no workers coming in from any other part of the state, for any other part of the country, and also ensuring that there will be no inter-district movement. Certain relaxation to farmers is being allowed, and that too, but will be when there's a very strict supervision, because we also need to ensure that this season, when the farmer community needs to sow their seeds, does not go away without any efforts and any work. So therefore, there will be some relaxation in that.